Good morning and welcome to today's press conference. I hope that you're having a terrific week and living well with our recent snow and cold temperatures, unfortunately. We certainly have seen more winter weather this year than in the past several years. But if you put your minds at ease, remember, Major League Baseball spring training begins again in only 24 days. That is a sure sign that warmer days will be coming hopefully soon. Not for a while, though. Before we start, I'd like to remind everyone that today is the last day for Christmas tree collections if your regular trash is collected today. And tomorrow, dog license renewal is due. You can pay for your dog license online at the City of Erie website. You can mail it in, or you can bring payment to the city treasurer here at 626 State Street in Erie, and they're open from 8:30 to 4:30. Also, please note that City Hall will be closed this coming Monday, June 20th, for the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. There's a special remembrance march scheduled for noon Monday, starting at the stage in Perry Square and marching to the nearby Martin Luther King Center, and I'll be participating in that. I hope you will join us as we remember the incredible impact that Dr. King and his unwavering commitment to justice, equality, and togetherness. In a city as diverse as Erie, we have a unique opportunity to carry forward his vision, so I hope to see you all there as well, although it may be a cold day. Today, we have a very important topic. Impaired driving continues to be one of the leading causes of roadway fatalities in Pennsylvania, and it does not have to be this way. These types of crashes are 100% avoidable. Erie County is doing its part to combat that trend through the work of the Erie County DUI Task Force's education and enforcement initiatives. I would now like to introduce PennDOT's District 1 Safety Press Officer, Saxon Doherty, to detail the efforts of our local law enforcement partners. Saxon, the floor is now yours. Go get them.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everybody. As the Mayor alluded to, we're here today to talk about impaired driving, and it's a topic I wish we didn't have to talk about as much as we do, but we're going to continue these efforts until we start to see the numbers go the right direction as far as roadway crashes, fatalities, and serious injuries. So we wanted to bring special attention today to work that's going on in your community, both like we just mentioned from an educational and enforcement perspective, which is the Erie County DUI Task Force. So we've got a great lineup of speakers today to kind of detail what that work looks like, and then we'll hope that you guys will maybe change your driving behaviors and kind of be more responsible with your friends and family as you go out, even for the upcoming Super Bowl or other events throughout the year. So at this time, I'd like to introduce the Chief Erie County Detective, Mark Shaw, to detail the structure of the task force itself. Mark?
Good morning. I'd like to begin with just providing you a brief history of the Erie County DUI Task Force, and then I'll touch on what we're doing and provide some statistics. So the task force was formed and funded through a traffic safety grant that we received from PennDOT. It's also funded by Erie County funds in part. The task force began in 1988 under then District Attorney Rusty Cunningham, and it's comprised of all local law enforcement agencies within Erie County. I think there's 10 different agencies that participate in the task force. The current District Attorney, Beth Hertz, fully supports the task force, and in 1989, we took over countywide enforcement efforts. So when we do a coordinated DUI effort, our office oversees it. The County Detective Bureau is actually it's the enforcement arm of the District Attorney. So I report to the District Attorney. I'd like to share just a few stats with you. I don't have 2024's numbers yet. They weren't available, but typically, like in 2021, we conducted 5 sobriety checkpoints within Erie County, different locations. I think we did 1 or 2 in Mill Creek. We did 1 in Erie, I think, at that point. We did 1 in Edinburgh. So we move them throughout the county. We oversee those. We have all the equipment, the trailer. We go out and set up the checkpoints and run those. Basically, we conduct those in areas where there's high crash rates. that are alcohol related or alcohol drug related. So in 2021, we arrested, or there's 937 people were arrested in Erie County for driving under the influence of either drugs or alcohol, or both. We've seen that increase from 875 that we had in 2020, and 2022 saw a jump. We had 1,022 people arrested in Erie County for DUI. The numbers continue to go up. In 2023, we had 1,005 people were arrested across Erie County for DUI. So of the 3,102 criminal charged offenses that comes through our office, DUI arrests accounted for 32.4% of all the criminal offenses in Erie County, which is very high, actually. I didn't have the 2024 statistics. I had the first 3 quarters. The last quarter wasn't available, but we're on track to even make more DUIs if the trend continues through the fourth quarter of 2024 than we did in 2023. So in 2017, the task force, which is 10 municipal departments across the county, was funded solely by Erie County. And we determined that we needed additional funding to do more patrols and more DUI checkpoints. So we applied for a grant through PennDOT. It's called the Police Traffic Services Grant in 2017 to try to augment the funds that we already had in place. And we received that grant and have received it every year since. And that really gives us the funding that we can put out multiple patrols. For instance, for Thanksgiving Eve, we funded every department, municipal department in Erie County to do DUI patrols on that evening. We funded that. And we did arrest a number of people for DUI that night. I think it's supposed to be the #1 night of alcohol use or abuse on the highways. Our funding for 2024 was, we had $33,000 from Erie County funds, and we had $61,000 from PennDOT funds. So we had almost $100,000 worth of funds to disperse countywide just for DUI enforcement. This grant that we got also covers funding for seatbelt enforcement, pedestrian safety enforcement, and aggressive driving enforcement. And that's also distributed by our office out to the 10 different agencies that participate in the grant. So we've seen an increase in drug driving. So when we do these alcohol-related patrols, we try to focus them on crash data, the date, the time of day, and try to put our patrols out when the DUI crashes are occurring, which is primarily Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings. But what we found with the driving while you're under the influence of drugs, that can occur any time. That can be at 9 o'clock in the morning at times, any day of the week. So I believe one of the other speakers has actually the crash data from which we base our patrols on, and they'll touch on that. One of the assets that we've had in the last few years is the drug recognition expert, the DRE. And one of the speakers is one of the only DREs in Erie County outside the state police, and he does a phenomenal job. We have him work the checkpoints when we conduct those, and when we pull someone off the line and they're impaired, but they don't appear to be under the influence of alcohol, he runs through his evaluation, and it's been very successful and very valuable. I see us just continuing what we've been doing. The grant that we're in right now with PennDOT, it's a 3-year grant. We're in year number 2. So we have next year funded, and I plan to apply for that grant when that one is over and try to get another 3-year grant through there. So with that.
All right, thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Maggie Nunley from the Pennsylvania DUI Association, so she can provide some background on those DREs that we mentioned, in addition to this giant trophy that you see here next to me, which is the PA DUI Top Gun Award. Maggie?
Good morning. Again, my name is Maggie Nunley, and I'm with the Pennsylvania DUI Association. I am a regional DUI program administrator. And today, we are here to highlight the efforts that were done by the Erie County DUI Task Force. They're one of the most motivated and successful DUI task force in Pennsylvania. One of their members was awarded the 2024 Top Gun Award for his efforts. The Top Gun Award is awarded to municipal officers and other law enforcement officers by the Pennsylvania DUI Association. This was the 27th year of the award. In November, Officer Parker with the Erie City Police received the Top Gun Award. With that being said, he had the second top number of arrests in Pennsylvania for the 2023 year. The Top Gun Award is awarded to law enforcement officers who have gone above and beyond their normal duties. They are a counselor, a teacher, they are medical technicians, social workers, psychologists, mentors, and negotiators. We expect all of this, including upholding the laws. These officers also are expected to engage in enforcement across Pennsylvania and keep our roads safe from impaired drivers. Again, all of these crashes that you hear about, these statistics are families. These are people that do not make it home. And the increase of enforcement allows for more of our loved ones to make it home at the end of the day. So Officer Parker received this award for his achievement and for his efforts in making our roads safer. Officer Parker is also what's known as a drug recognition expert. And a drug recognition expert is a highly trained officer who goes through extensive training beyond his normal patrol duties. They are certified in standardized field sobriety testing, advanced roadside impaired driving enforcement. They are standardized field sobriety testing instructors. They are usually breath test operators as well, and then they go through a specialized training that takes approximately 1 month with about a 5 to 8 hour final exam that they must get 100% on before they are certified as a drug recognition expert. Officer Parker has gone through all of this training and carries forward his experience, training, and knowledge to better help Erie County in making their roads safer. Thank you.
Okay, and now it's my pleasure to introduce the recipient, or one of the recipients of the Pennsylvania DUI Top Gun Award is Patrolman Jeff Parker with the City of Erie Police Department.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Patrolman Jeffrey Parker, and I am assigned to the Patrol Division within the Erie Police Department. Aside from my many other trainings and certifications that I hold, I am Erie County's only municipal drug recognition expert. Today, I'll be sharing with you information on what exactly a drug recognition expert is, and I will be discussing the Top Gun Award and the Erie Police Department's DUI-related statistics. Before I continue, I'd like to thank the PA DUI Association for this award. Additionally, I'd like to thank Maggie Nunley, because without her and her leadership, this wouldn't be possible, so thank you. Let me give you some statistics that many of you may be unaware of. In 2023, Erie County had 224 impaired driving crashes and 12 driving impaired fatalities. In 2024, Erie County had 214 impaired driving crashes and 15 driving impaired fatalities. These fatality numbers in 2023 make Erie County the 12th highest on the fatality out of 67 counties. And that makes up, in Pennsylvania, in 2024, the preliminary numbers show the potential increase in fatalities that is over 50%. And additionally, over 50% of all the criminal cases that come through Erie County's District Attorney's Office, approximately, are DUIs. In May of 2019, I attended and graduated the DRE training, which is drug recognition expert training conducted in Mansfield, Pennsylvania. DRE is a law enforcement officer that is trained in a scientifically validated method to identify people whose driving is impaired by drugs other than or addition to alcohol. This expertise not only assists me while I'm on patrol, but it benefits other officers all over Erie County as well. A DRE officer can be called out anytime when an officer suspects that they have come into contact with somebody whom is driving impaired, specifically on drugs. Generally, I meet officers at the hospital and conduct a 12-step procedure in a controlled environment. At the conclusion of this procedure, I will be able to make a determination if the driver is impaired and also what type of drug they may be impaired on. Based on this information, an officer can then proceed determining an arrest or not. These mutual aid call-outs are completely grant-funded, creating no financial burden on any department for this service. Every year, the PA DUI Association accepts nominations for the Top Gun Award. After receiving these nominations, the DUI Association then selects officers from across Pennsylvania with the most DUI arrests and invites them to attend their annual DUI conference. This conference, the award for the Top Gun is presented. Last year, Deputy Chief Marucci submitted Erie County's first ever Top Gun nomination. It was my honor on November 21st, 2024, to receive the Top Gun Award with having 126 DUI arrests in 2023. To put that into perspective, out of the 35 Top Gun Award winners, the average number of DUI arrests per officer was 43 arrests. The city of Erie faces its own challenges when it comes to DUI-related incidents. In Erie County, the city of Erie handles approximately 50% of Erie County's impaired driving-related crashes. Of those crashes, I've investigated or been involved in approximately half of them in 2003 and 2024. As a result of these crashes, innocent people have been injured, including our own officers, who were struck by DUI drivers while in marked patrol vehicles. In 2024, I arrested 100 DUI drivers, and as a result, over half of those were impaired driving crashes. In 2024, there was a noticeable increase in the seriousness of the injuries as a result from those DUI crashes. All of these injuries are why we're speaking about this, and we take it seriously today. In closing, I'd like to thank Mayor Schember and our command staff for their commitment to the safety of not only the City of Erie residents, but also that of Erie County as well. They have given me the ability to be available for not only the City of Erie, but for other agencies combating this problem. I want to additionally thank Deputy Chief Marucci for nominating me for the Top Gun Award and the continued support that he provides. This is clearly a very serious problem that continues to be combated by departments on a daily basis. And I want to leave you with a quote from a mother and father that I spoke to that lost their son to a DUI impaired driver. "You will never know how many lives you saved for each person that you removed off the roadway who was impaired." Thank you for your time and the opportunity to speak today.
And congratulations again to Officer Parker on that achievement. And last but certainly not least, I'd like to invite our safety partner from AAA, Jim Garrity, to discuss some general safety reminders for motorists. So, Jim?
Thanks, Saxon. Hello, I am Jim Garrity from AAA, and there's been a lot of great progress over the last several decades when it comes to combating drunk driving. But as we heard in some of these numbers here today, there is still a lot of work to be done. So we want to say thank you and congratulate the task force on the great work that they're doing in Erie County and Officer Parker for what they're doing. And I also want to say thank you to Officer Parker for his work as a DRE. That can be a quite thankless job if you know what really goes into it. Saxon talked earlier about you have the Super Bowl coming up, but whether you're celebrating the Super Bowl or just any Friday or Saturday night, it is up to us as the motorists who hit the roadways to do what we can, what's in our power to avoid driving impaired, whether that's drugs or whether that's alcohol. And all too often, you'll hear of people who try to make the decision about how they're getting home after they've gone to the party or the bar or wherever it is that they're going. That's when they decide that they're going to make their plan. And when in reality, you should be making that plan well in advance of going out. There's nothing wrong with celebrating. There's nothing wrong with enjoying yourself. But you need to make that plan before any altering substance gets into your body so that you know you're doing what you can to get home safely. And there's never been an excuse for drunk driving, but especially in 2025, there is no excuse with ride shares, taxis, buses, the variety of options getting home, and then, of course, designated drivers, which means no alcohol at all, not 1 or 2 drinks, nothing in their systems. There is no excuse for drunk driving, and it is up to all of us to do what we can to avoid causing what the mayor referred to as completely preventable crashes. Thank you.
Okay, and kind of piggybacking off that, in closing, I just want to make a call to action to everyone here in the room and everybody watching from home. Just take this message and share that with your friends and family. Don't let anybody that you think is impaired try to get behind the wheel. It's never worth the risk. We are continuing to see lives lost, and it affects families forever. It's something that's so avoidable, and we continue to talk about it because it's continuing to happen. And that's just, it's not acceptable to us, and our goal is to get that number to be 0. So that's going to take everybody's help that's here today and those that are out driving on the roadways. So together we can make a safer transportation network for everybody. So just take that to heart and use that as a call to action moving forward. At this time, I'm going to pass it back to Mayor Schember for any closing remarks.
Thank you, Saxon, Mark, Maggie, Jeff, and Jim. I really appreciate all you are doing. You've been great speakers, and you've addressed critical topics that tragically impact the lives of many, many people here in Erie. I really appreciate your hard work and dedication to educate the public and to keep our community safe from the dangers of drinking and driving. Finally today, please remember that City Hall will be closed on Monday, January 20th, for the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. If you're available, we're going to meet at Perry Square at 11:30 on Monday, and we'll begin the annual march to the Martin Luther King Center at noon on Monday. That concludes this week's press conference. Please continue to follow us on social media for the latest updates on everything happening here in the city of Erie. And everyone who spoke, all 6, are available for interviews. Thank you very much for watching and being here today. We have a great crowd. Thank you very much.